All right, guys, buckle up for the 4 C's: cut, color, clarity, and carat. I know it sounds like a snooze fest from some textbook, but trust me, we're making this fun with the real diamonds we've handled ourselves. No boring slides, just straight fire, okay? So first off, cut. Not the shape, it's about how those facets play with light. A bad cut, your diamond looks sleepy or milky, but a top-notch cut, boom, you get that fire, that scintillation, that blinding sparkle. All right, so check this out. See how this ideal cut is dancing with light compared to the dud next to it? It's interesting, right? So the number one factor in brilliance is the cut. We always tell people start with the cut because this is the foundation you need to build on in order to get the right diamond. Color's next. Color is like the alphabet, except it starts with D. So DEF is called collection color in the industry. You see it as colorless. GHI is called near colorless, but is considered a real sweet spot for most buyers. This is because the diamond still faces very white, but can save you a good amount of money or allow you to get a larger diamond. So once you start heading into the J, K, L color ranges and down, you will feel what we call a warmer tone, a more yellow feel as you get more down the alphabet. Brilliance will start to diminish as you head down the color scale in the lower colors. Now let's talk clarity. This is the one that freaks out most people because it sounds scary, but relax. We're about to make it much, much easier. Clarity is just the GIA's fancy way of rating how many tiny birthmarks, what we call inclusions or surface blemishes, are inside or on the diamond. Think of it like a yearbook photo. Some people have zero acne. I hate those people. Some have a couple pimples and a few look like they lost a fight with a cheese grater. Here's the full lineup from perfect to only if you're on a crazy budget and on down. So let's walk you through this slowly. There's a big range, so stick with me, okay? So there's flawless or FL, zero inclusions, zero blemishes, even under a 10 power magnification. It's museum grade. It costs the GDP of a small country. 99.9999% of people will never own one. You can skip it, to be honest, unless you're a collector. Then there's internally flawless, known as IF. Still no inclusions inside. Maybe a tiny polish mark on the surface. Still insanely expensive. You can skip it. VVS1 and VVS2 is very, very slightly included. These are tiny, tiny little pinpricks or clouds that only a trained grader can find with a loupe. And even then, you need a good lighting and coffee. It's pretty hard. It's basically invisible. These are the flex grades if money's no object. But honestly, it's overkill. You don't necessarily need it unless it's in an emerald cut, which we can explain later. VS1 and VS2 is very slightly included. This is the sweet spot for 90% of buyers. Inclusions are minor, maybe a tiny feather or crystal, and you still can't see them without magnification. VS2 is usually a bit cheaper than VS1 and looks identical on the finger if the imperfection is nice. This is where we tell almost everyone to land. The only thing to be aware of is the color of the inclusion. We want it to be white and not black, because black can be seen with the naked eye, especially when the diamond gets dirty, so that sparkle diminishes. The last thing you want is to spend hard-earned money and later down the road she notices the imperfection. So you feel badly about that and it's money spent and gone. So let's avoid this. SI1, slightly included 1. It's the first grade where inclusions can sometimes be eye visible. I would say about 70% of the time you can see them. However, if the inclusion is off to the side, under a prong, super, super fine white, you'll never notice it. SI1 is the budget hero. Tons of bang for the buck. We buy a lot of SI1s for clients and they look great in real life. SI2 is slightly included too. Now we're in a it depends territory. Some SI2s are gorgeous, but it's very, very limited. Most have black crystals staring right at you, hard imperfections. You need to have a very good video or photo to try and figure this out. A good SI2 could save you 20 to 30 or more percent and still look very clean. A bad one is going to be very, very, very rough, all right? So we can help you in the community spot the winners and losers. Now you have I1, I2, I3. These are hard inclusions visible to the naked eye. Black spots, big feathers that just kill the sparkle. Only go here if size literally is the only thing that matters and you're okay with a dull stone. We've seen people buy I1s, thinking that they're going to like it and they hate it 6 months later. It's just a dead diamond. Hard pass would be our recommendation. Quick rule of thumb that we live by. For everyday rings, VS1 to SI1 is the money zone. You want to go bigger on a budget, SI1, or a clean SI2 if you can. We can help check it for you. You want to brag about flawless, VVS or better, but your wallet will cry. Bottom line, 99% of the time, you're choosing between VS1, VS2, and SI1. And maybe, if you're lucky, a cherry-picked SI2. Everything cleaner is just paying for bragging rights. You can't see. And everything worse starts to look cloudy and dull in real life.